Welcome back to the Roy Works channel. My name is Jason Roy. In today's video, we are going to start the process of installing new brakes in the CJ2A project. This is going to be a series of videos specifically for the brakes because in the past I've got comments that people really want to see the process of installing the brakes. So we're going to slow it down a notch and we're going to really take our time and install the brakes. Taking your time doing brakes is really important. They're probably one of the most important parts of a restoration of a vehicle. To me, they are. Probably I feel strongly about that because when I was younger, I was driving I had an S10 Chevy truck, and being a young kid, not being really too smart about my brakes, I knew I was having issues with them and I kind of neglected them. And one time when I really need the brakes, I was going on a off ramp to the highway, and I came off the off ramp and I had no brakes. And so it was the scariest feeling I've ever had, the most helpless feeling. I drove right off the side of the road so I wouldn't hit anybody or hit any cars, and went down through the woods and, wrecked the truck. But luckily it wasn't that great of a truck to begin with, and luckily, very lucky, no one got hurt. But from that point on, I really knew the importance of having good brakes. It's very important. So when I buy brakes, ever since then, I always buy top quality brakes. And for Jeeps, I always go through Kaiser Willys. They have great stock, very high quality, and their staff is very knowledgeable. So I feel very comfortable buying from them. And I would recommend it to you, anybody that is doing this process. But I'm gonna try to keep the talking to a minimum and just do the installation and just show you anything that I know. But I strongly recommend everybody read the comments because the people that follow this channel comment, and they are very knowledgeable. And if you are knowledgeable, chime in, give me some information. If there might be one little thing that I miss that might help somebody or help me, please comment and help. We're all into this together. It's like we're all working on this restoration together. I really enjoy it. And if you're new to the channel, if you could subscribe, it helps the channel to grow. So more and more people are able to watch these videos. If you enjoy them, maybe other people would too. But that's going to be it for me talking, other than just showing you what we have here. We have a bunch of parts and we're going to go through them all today. All right, so I ended up getting a catalog from Kaiser Willys, which is really helpful. And I ended up ordering the Master Brake Kit. And I also upgraded to the dual master cylinder upgrade kit. I feel like that's really important for the safety of the brakes, is to have the dual chambered master cylinder. If you don't know what that is, we'll talk about that in future videos, actually, when I'm installing that master cylinder. But I ended up getting the 9-inch master brake kit, and that came with the brake shoes, the wheel cylinders, the hubs, and it actually comes with a single chambered master cylinder, but I wanted to upgrade to the dual chambered. I just feel way more confident in driving the vehicle when I have that. And what I also added to that parts list, I actually wanted to get new lug bolts. Because when you take the old hubs off, it's really tough to get those lug bolts off. And I feel like it's so much easier and more efficient just to get the lug bolts and get new lug nuts. It just makes a so much better job. And I'm not really worried about keeping this to, original specs. So I went with non-reverse threads on the driver's side. I went with just regular threads. throughout with all the lug bolts. But I also got new flexible brake lines, new springs, and this kit for the master cylinder. And also I'm going to buy a roll of brake line, but that's going to be further along in the brake series. One other little piece of information to pass on to you is if you decide not to go with the dual chambered master cylinder and decide to go with a single chamber, if you have a 46 CJ2A that you're restoring, just be aware that the earlier in the year had a different master cylinder than the later part of the year for the master cylinder. One has a bolt-on master cylinder. Well, they're both bolt-on, but one of them, the bolts pass through the master cylinder and lock onto the frame with a nut and bolt. And the other one is threaded, which is the earlier part of the year. It's a threaded master cylinder. And the later part is the pass-through bolt. As you can see here, mine is was built later in that year because the bolts have a nut on the back side of it, and that is how it secured the master cylinder to the frame. So that's just something to be aware of. I'm going to pass on any information that I have to anybody that's new to this. But that's going to be pretty much it. Just another little thing that's kind of cool about the catalog to show you. And they also have tips on how to, work on your brakes, which is kind of helpful. And also I got in the master cylinder kit, they actually have a process written down on how to bench bleed your master cylinder. So we'll also go over that on future videos. But that's going to be it for today, guys. I know I did a lot of talking, but I just wanted to set up the next series of videos and just show you the process that we're going to be going through. But I appreciate everybody being here, and I will see you next time on the Roy Works channel. Bye, guys.
We're gonna throw a snowball at you. You have to catch it